Now, this is not going to be a long review. Not at all. It's not going to be very long. I have a few things to say about basically everything was around a situation. Let's talk about it. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Your Husband is Cheating on Us. All right, so like I said, this is not going to be a very long review. Everything really went around a situation. Um, yeah, everything in this review, this whole episode, kind of went around one situation. Let's just say this. We start off, Tondi and Leah are actually talking. They were very concerned about Jermaine. Okay. And they're like, if Jermaine can't get this together, it's going to screw us all up. It's not fair to us, because this is our job. Like, because the way things are actually going, you start to feel kind of like JD talks a good game, but he's kind of a pushover for the most part. With all this walking out of rehearsals and all of this kind of shit, ain't nobody going for that shit. Ain't nobody going for that shit. That's all crazy. I'm a writer my goddamn self, and I could tell you, I would have gotten rid of the whole cast a long time ago. The whole cast. I wouldn't have tried to fire the shit out of them. But, it is what it is. So you've kind of gotten the feel that he is pretty much, he's a pushover. He's a pushover. And he talks a good game. His daughters push him over, Them daughters are, woo, honey, no ma'am. I just wouldn't. Everybody would be gone, daughters included. It just is what it is. Okay, so like I said, um, Leah and Tondi they're worried about Jermaine. They said basically everything is going is scary and it's a bit irritating. His behavior is irritating them because if your shit's not right, then none of our shit is right because you're the lead. And then, then we don't know you bitch don't fuck with my money. I gotta eat. Ho. I ain't got time to be playing with you. So that was that. Then we actually see Jermaine the one night he's leaving out. They show like footage like 20 hours prior because nobody has seen him at all. It's like the next day. They're like, I knocked on Jermaine's door. He's not here. Well, Jermaine actually, I guess he lives close because he said like he went 7 blocks away. Because when he was leaving out, I said, well, where the fuck is Jermaine going in the middle of the night? It was like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. I said, Charlie, some little piece they call honey, he can go jump up and down, honey, or do a little something, honey, he can sweat his hair out. And I was like, okay. But then I looked at the stuff he was carrying. I was like, well, yeah, all he needs is a couple of things in his bag, honey. Gone on. Well, he said he went home. He said like 7 blocks away. He went, he learned his script. He came back, baby, and he let their asses have it. The way I said, no, there's my Jermaine. Come on, Jermaine. Yes. He came back, bitch, and he was ready. He had learned the script, all of it. He was completely off book. Okay? He shut them up. Shut them up. And then he finally got his one-on-one with JD that the next day at rehearsal. They rehearsed and then everybody left and he stayed with JD for another 2 hours and they had their one-on-one and he got to learn basically because I didn't understand. I'm like, what is the problem with this? You want this one-on-one time? Then I got it. I understood what he was saying. It wasn't the writer JD he wanted to sit with. It was the actual artist as a whole. He wanted that mentorship piece, that how you do things kind of thing. And he was going through like some different acting things with him and different things of how he brings his character life. I understood at that point. I said, okay, Jermaine, I got you. I got you. Because that's, again, the stuff that he was, just a little bit of stuff that we saw on screen that him and JD went over. I said, I see what you're talking about now. Those things were good things to have in your arsenal. I got you. I got you. So he finally got what he wanted, and he was performing up to the standard that Jermaine can perform, and everything was all good. Um, Once all of that went down, everybody went out to like a karaoke place and, had a good time. They had drinks and they sang, and child, everybody was carrying on singing. Everybody sounded pretty good. Jermaine sang, Kristen sang. Kristen's really good. Sang, Leah sang. Leah did some gospel, it was real nice. Tawny didn't get up and sing though. And we know Tawny can sing. I heard her voice. We know she can sing. I don't know. But they just didn't film it. You ever notice they don't really film too much of Tawny too much unless she playing with her friend, honey. So I guess Tawny got enough love scenes, honey, that they get her singing a different way, honey. We don't want to catch those scenes of her singing on the mic, honey. I said, oh, okay. So we cool, but they didn't film Tawny singing. Child, they didn't miss filming Deatra's motherfucking monkey ass singing. Deatra's ass was caterwauling, and I said, bitch, if you don't quit and trust me, and it's nothing about Deatra is a vocal fucking beast. Do you understand me? But I'll give her this: she don't know when to. She don't know when to. She that's her though. She's an over dramatic ass, and that's just her. That's her. And sometimes it works for things, but most times it don't. Sometimes it's just fucking overbearing. Fucking overbearing. Now, I'll tell you, there's a song that she did as a duet with her and the guy in Medea's family reunion, the play. And I will say easily, it is the best live performance that I have ever seen Deatra Hicks do. Yeah. It's the best live performance I've ever seen her do. When I tell you that bitch, and it was the two of them together, because I can't think of the guy's name. I think he was in, what's the group? It's a boy group. It's like 4 boys in the group. I can't think of the name of the damn group. But anyway, the guy, he has a badass voice, and Deatra got a badass voice, and the two of them played off each other, and it was one of them moments where it was like, motherfucker, we get ready to sing. Is you down? You better be down, because we get ready to sing. And he's upstairs, and she's downstairs, and that motherfucking Deatra, that whore was singing. Do you hear me? She sang her face off. My favorite part of that whole play. And then she has another song in the play too. That play, she was good in that play. She had another song, she sang her ass off too. But that duet, shit, tore it up. Now this shit that she did the other night, I said, bitch, if you don't go sit down, you're doing too much. Way too much. That's her. I mean, I don't even know no other way to actually to explain it to y'all. She just, a motherfucker that can do their little stuff and they can growl when they sing. Yeah, but Deatra, she don't just growl. She growls, eats the prey, tears the neck, rips the fur off, and then be walking away with it hanging out her mouth type of shit. Just over the top. Girl, if you don't get your goddamn ass, you're doing too much. That's her. It's just, I don't want to see her do nothing gospel. Period. I don't see you do nothing gospel. Because you're going to do too much. You're going to stretch the service from a 20-minute service to a 2-hour and 20-minute service. Because it's going to be, Jesus is, all that. Bitch, too much. Girl, you was singing the damn song, Jesus came back and left again. while you were singing. No, ma'am. But this is what she was doing. Down to the karaoke. Caterwauling, honey. And then we see my girl Tawny, honey. And Tawny was over here like this. Bitch. If this ain't a fucking mess. I said, oh, Lord. Then they put Tawny up in the damn confessional. And she was reading down. I said, it was a mess. It was just a fucking mess. But anyway, they were all getting along. That was the one good thing. They were getting along. They were complimenting each other. And Leah and Deatra were really, they was just back and forth. And Deatra had her a few cocktails, honey, and she was really just, oh, yes, girl. I love singing with you, honey. Her fake was at an all-time high, honey. Yes, girl, when I heard your voice, girl, because your voice is that thick, girl, I wanted to sing with you, honey. And yes, I said, girl, you don't even like Leah all like that, bitch. You doing too much. And Tawny was feeling the same way. Tawny was like, this bitch is faker than a $3 bill. I ain't got time for it. I ain't this drunk. I ain't feeling it. Bitch full of shit. I was like, okay, Tawny, simmer down. So we had to go through all that. I laughed at that real good. Next day, JD texted them. This ass that made like major changes to the script. Like over 60% of the script has rewrites to it. Lines added and all this. Baby, the cast, the whole cast. Tawny was gone because Tawny had to go and take care of some business with her daughter. Her daughter was entering into college, and definitely, mother wants to be there. When she'll take her baby there and leave her baby and make sure her baby's good, and then I'll see you motherfuckers later. So she was gone. And honey, they got that text, honey, and they were just over it. They were over it. They were over JD's bullshit. I was like, okay, it is what it is. Again, remember, I'm a writer, so I understood when he made the call to do that, and he explained why he did that. Because once they all had it and they was able to see everything working together, he said his characters seemed too one-dimensional. He needed to make them more dimensional. I understand that. I get it. I was here for that. They were upset, and Kristen and Jermaine more than anybody else, because again, yes, they are younger in the business. Yes, there is a little immaturity that will go away, as they keep working. But they got in their feelings about it, and truly and honestly, see, I don't want to seem like I'm coming down on Jermaine too much, but I guess I am. Jermaine, had you got your shit together a lot earlier, this would have happened a lot earlier, so you would have been fussing about the fact that there were only like 19, 18 days left, because we wasted 7, 8 days with you fucking around and didn't know the script. Had you known the script and he actually could have seen everything, he would have knew the shit about the characters not having enough dimension, and he would have did the rewrite over a week ago. So part of that was kind of your fault, dude. But ain't no biggie. It is what it is. So they end up having this little standoff. JD comes to the house to rehearse with them. They're on the 5th floor. JD's on the 2nd floor. He tells them, come on down to the 2nd floor. Well, originally they were supposed to do it on the 5th floor. So Kristen takes on, she's going off. She texted them back and forth. Tell them how they ain't coming the fuck downstairs to the 2nd floor. I said, this is petty fucking boots. They stood their asses up there on that 5th floor, and JD got in his petty bag. I said, JD, your queen is showing, honey. Your fucking dirty slip is showing. Now you acting like them. Honey, but I'd have been doing it a long time ago, but I am a queen, honey, and I would have had my slip showing, honey, and I would have been cutting the fucking fool earlier on. But they were up there, didn't want to come down. He wasn't coming up. And then when they finally got themselves together, because, Leah was like, I think we should go downstairs. The actress said so too. And then Jermaine was like, yeah, I think so too. And then at that point, as a whole, Kristen had to give in. So by the time they got all that together, they come downstairs, baby JD's walking out the door. And they're like, oh, you're leaving? He will say, I'm good. He was going out the door. He left. So they lost a whole nother day of rehearsal. And the next day, he comes back to the house. They all talked about it. They went out and ate and everything, and they were like, we kind of should have did that. Leah's like, yeah, we gotta kind of chill with this shit because it is unprofessional, and we don't want to fuck ourselves up. It's basically what she was saying. I want to do a good job, and Deatra, I was just kind of looking at her. I was like, she seemed to be on some bullshit, but okay. I don't trust her. So I was like, all right, well, we'll see. We're gonna see what's going go on. JD comes back the next day. He says, okay, we're gonna go. We're changing the place, and he said what he said. I don't want to be fighting with you all, and I've got all of my feelings, and we need to stop this. We got things we got to do. And he told me, I got a car for you guys. It's going to take y'all to the rehearsal site. It's waiting downstairs. Get your stuff and let's go. Jermaine, hang back. Oh, and the day before they actually got into, but before JD, before JD left, the day that they, no, I'm lying. This is the day. Okay, I'm missing the whole day. Okay, so no, skip that. This was what happened. The day he came back to rehearse, they were doing some of the rehearsals. There was like a lot of contention going on as far as the rewrite and all of this stuff. And they're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And Jermaine and JD got into it. Jermaine was, really voicing his disdain. Yeah, that's what I want to use. His disdain for the changes and the way JD was going about it, and this, that, thing, and the other, and what his expectations were. And then he's like, I'm going to go smoke a cigarette, and this kind of stuff. And I mean, it was just, Jermaine was doing the absolute most. So, at a point, Kristen's sitting in between JD standing and Jermaine sitting, and he told Kristen to move. And he goes over there and he's telling him, with what's going on, I deal with energy, and your energy is very off-putting. It's making me very uncomfortable. And when he said that, I said, Jermaine, hey Jermaine, boo, it's time to pull back. Shit's getting ready to get fucked up. Now I don't foresee JD really putting his foot down, but you pushing it. Like you're really pushing it. I was like, I don't know if you can't see it, but you're pushing it. So anyway, JD ends up leaving that day. That's the day they end up going on out and going to dinner and all of that. Next day, JD comes back. JD says, I have the car waiting. Y'all go ahead and get your stuff. Jermaine, hang back. Baby, he sat there and he fired Jermaine. And you could see in Jermaine's face like, the fucker just fired me? Yeah, he did. And it was a shock because, again, JD has been this pushover this whole time. He fired Jermaine, and he wasn't going back on it, baby. He was done. You're out. You're out of here. You're done. And I was literally shocked. I was shocked. I wasn't mad at JD. I can't say I don't understand why he did it, because I would have done it a long time ago. But I was sad because I like Jermaine. So I was like, oh man, this is fucked up. But again, it's just a lesson Jermaine had to learn. And Jermaine still went out that motherfucker and told him, Tyler Perry don't do shit like that. Your ass is full of shit and you're a liar. I said, oh, jeez. Jermaine's like, Charles, ain't getting me, honey. I see her dirty slip, honey. And Jermaine gave him, honey, look at my petticoat, girl, crystal clean, honey. Threw his little head up in the air and went right on out that door. And JD even said in his confessional, honey, I would hire him again, but just not right now. I used to be arrogant like that. I was like, well, I can't even debate it. Jermaine, you fucked up, boo. You fucked up, but it's okay. That motherfucker got a golden egg in his throat. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Somebody gonna hire you to do something, baby. You'll be fine. So it was what it was. Now, this is where I got pissed off. Deatra, you goddamn clown. She sat up there First she was like talking to Jermaine, like, well, what did he say? And well, what happened? And this, that, and the other. Do you need me to help you pack? And he's like, no, Deatra, you're cool. It's fine. Because he ain't fucking with you because he don't like you. He didn't like you from the door. He ain't fucking with you. And he know you full of shit, demon. And Kristen was helping them get his stuff together. Kristen was like, oh, don't leave me, because they're friends. He's getting his little stuff. This bitch was sitting there. Y'all see my thumbnail. That bitch was sitting there, kikiing and cackling and laughing. Now listen, let me tell you something. It is never the time to really gloat in anybody losing their job. Like, seriously, that's a hot mess. That's a whole hot mess. And you're sitting over there gloating and kikiing and cackling, just like, bitch, you don't understand what it is not to be hired, not to be working. You understand? This is, like you said when we started this was your last shot. This is your last shot because you done fucked up so many times that don't nobody want to fuck with you. But yet you're sitting here kikiing and cackling at this young man that lost his job. Really, Deatra? Yeah, now your dirty slip is showing. Not a good look, boo. Not a good look. That's basically it. Like I said, this wasn't going to be too long because this is all that really, in this whole thing, this is what was going on. It was the demise of goddamn Jermaine off of this damn production. But yeah, that ended up Deatra sitting over there laughing. And she looked so damn evil sitting over there laughing. If y'all have ever seen the movie The Exorcist, right after Reagan killed Father O'Malley, honey, and he was over there, he had that heart attack, was laying on the floor, and the other father came in, and she was laughing on the bed like, if that ain't what Deatra was given, you know what happened to Reagan, don't you? Right after that, that other priest choked that bitch out. So you just keep on, Deatra. All right, you guys, catch y'all next week. Later.